So here we are down at the new goat paddock, obviously where we've had this lovely goat enclosure created, and this morning we have had quite a few swarms of bees around the zoo. Not necessarily our bees, but bees from somewhere, because we have got quite a few apiaries that are not ours, that are on the other side of the zoo boundary, and then we've got ours, and then obviously there's apiaries, you know, within a couple of miles of here. So we've got a swarm that is settled on top of the highest goat platform. As you can see, the goats are not particularly phased. This swarm first appeared over the top of the domestics paddocks when we noticed it, and it slowly started moving towards the goat paddock before settling on the tallest platform. But what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and get up there with some ladders, and we're going to get a dustpan and brush, and we're going to kind of sweep them into a nuke, which is like a temporary hive, to see if we can catch them up and secure the queen and put them into a hive, because at the minute they're kind of wild, if you like. Swarming at this time of year is a perfectly normal thing to happen. I think this is like the 5th one we've seen so far. We've had quite a few. We had one in the raccoons as well. What happens is that each hive, each colony is only meant to have one queen, and in the spring sometimes they kind of cultivate new queen cells, and if the queen hatches out, obviously the second queen can't stay in the same hive as the first queen, so the second queen leaves, takes half the workers with her, and goes and creates a brand new colony somewhere else. So this is a perfectly normal thing, but obviously if you can catch them and catch the queen and put them in a hive, then you can obviously double your honey yield. So beekeepers, they're often quite keen to catch stray colonies of swarms of bees. You can see I'm quite close to them, and they're not bothered about me, because obviously their biggest concern right now is where they're going to live. So right now there's scout bees out and about trying to find new places to live, and obviously they could get up and leave at any moment, but if we can catch them in time, then we can have another colony of bees. Once we got our beekeeping suits on, we dived into the goat enclosure to see what we could do. So you reckon that as soon as you touch them, they're just going to go poof?
No, you have to put your fingers in and drag them down into the box, because you can't get the brush in there very easily.
Right, okay.
I mean, there you go. They'll just pull
you just
around
stick
the
your finger in it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Is it hot?
Yeah, it's warm. Yeah, I feel it's warm. The temperature on the finger.
So you reckon she's in the order?
Yeah.
Probably a couple of inches above.
That's right, isn't it? Cool.
I'd take out 4.
Oh yeah, I was thinking that. These gap possible.
And it's witches. And what I was going to think of is just put the box on top of here.
Yeah.
Afterwards, yeah.
I'm just hoping that she's going to be here.
What's the chances of her just flying away then? Is it pretty good?
No, because hopefully she's
In the middle
tucked
of the
inside there.
Yeah.
And obviously hopefully with the ball get in there, and she won't want to.
The box is covering most of that big bit there. Is that about high enough? There.
Right.
knocked off a few bees into the nuke there, and we've put it on top of that platform there. We're just trying to see if the workers are going to head in, because that tells us the queen's in there, and if they're coming out, that means we still haven't caught her yet. So there's another chunk on the side of the platform there that we're going to have a go at now.
But they're not going in.
The remaining worker bees on the outside of the nuke don't seem to be heading into the hive, so that tells us that the queen could still be on the platform.
I think, if anything, she might be on the inside here.
You got her?
Yeah.
I think you can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good.
Do you want to hold the frame?
If you hold the
Yeah, that's fine. Well, 6 frames plus that extra one you got there, so that's the 6 in there.
So Colin just spotted the queen amongst what was left on the side there and managed to grab her and just pop her in that top nuke there. So now what we should see, hopefully, is all the workers walking into that box, and then technically once they're all in there you can just close that up and move it away, pop it into a new hive. What do you think about having a swarm in your enclosure? Not too sure. So we're just heading off to have a drink, because that should be about the amount of time it takes before all the worker bees, hopefully most of the worker bees, make their way into that nuke where the queen is. So fingers crossed we get most of them. The beekeepers added an extra frame into the nuke to give the bees more space to draw up and make their honeycomb. When you open up a hive, queen bees automatically move down into the hive, into the darker spaces. So there was no risk, or a very, very low risk, of losing the queen by taking the lid off. We had to take the nuke off of this platform because we couldn't leave it in there with all these goats. So we got as many workers as we could, but obviously with it being the time of day and being quite warm, there was still quite a few workers out and about. But we were hoping that if we just moved the nuke to the apiary, that the worker bees would find their way there. Just like that.
Just like that.
When we needed to remove the swarm from the raccoons, because they had settled there for quite some time, and the raccoons were starting to look a little bit shocked. That was a little bit more tricky because they had settled inside of a hawthorn tree, so we had to trim some branches to move the swarm into a nuke. So we've decided to remove the colony. They're still here after a couple of hours, and the temperatures dropped quite a bit, so they've all actually settled down quite nicely. So Peter's come down, he's got a nuke, which is like a temporary kind of hive box. And what we're going to do, the plan is that this hawthorn tree, they've weighted down this branch quite a bit because there's quite a few kilos of bees there. What we're going to do is we're going to lift that branch up. This plan sounds amazing. Lift this branch up, slide the nuke underneath, and drop the colony into the box, and hopefully the queen will be in there. So the reason why all the bees are kind of clustered in one area is probably because the queen's in the middle, so that's a good sign. So if we can get the queen in the box, hopefully everybody else will come along. So fingers crossed, Okay, you ready for this?
Yep. You just very gently. Let's see how low it goes down. Can you get it much higher?
Oh.
There's some dropping off the bottom there. Oh my goodness. It's spread onto a couple of branches, I can see. But this is the main branch here, this one here. So we get that underneath there like that. And then lower it down into there. It's a bit thick, isn't it? That is.
It's not a massively thick branch, like.
No.
Do you want me to hold this bit?
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
Lower it down into there.
There we go, yeah, got it. Got it.
Right, I'm going to cut that there off. And I'll cut that there off where you are.
Yeah, got it.
I'll drop those in there.
Let me just grab this bit of bramble here.
Right, you can take that.
Oh, it's sitting on top of the bramble, that's why.
Okay.
It's this bit here. That bit. There you go. Awesome.
Yeah.
Let me just get rid of that.
Cut this bit here.
You manage.
Yeah. So I get a bit of cramp in my leg. I should sometimes do when I get bend down.
Wow. That's well done. Wow. Let's have a quick look at this.
Now, we get this one here. Lift that one up there and over there. That's cut off. Is that gone? Oops, that's okay.
It's still stuck on. Oh no, I've got it.
Got it?
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
Oh. There you go, girls. Right. So that's the majority of them in there. And oops, another bit around here. And a little bit here. I hope the queen's in that bit.
And just like that, we've snipped off the branches and they are in that nuke now. They're a little bit more lively now, obviously, because we've been disturbing them, but generally they're pretty calm considering.
Let's see if we can get the lid on.
So the plan is now to try and get the lid on the box. So we're just hoping that the queen's in there, because if the queen's in there, then we're good to go. So it's the day after the swarm actually kind of gathered on the goat platform over there. But now I'm down at the apiary to come down and check on them because what we need to do is, I know it sounds a bit weird, but we need to let the queen out. So this queen is a virgin queen, which means that she won't have mated before. So when she left her hive yesterday, she was brand new. She's a brand new queen. So she was born this year and she won't have been mated before. So now that we've kind of artificially helped them swarm so that they've found their new home to them, it's time to let the queen out so that she can go to what's called the drone zone. And the drone zone is this place in the sky where all of the male drones from other beehives from up to 17 miles away all kind of hang out and mate with queens. And the queens go around, they mate with multiple different males, and they can actually pick and choose what DNA they use when they actually lay their eggs, which is mental. So anyways, if we don't let her out and we don't let her breed, then obviously she can't reproduce. So that's not what we want. So I'm going to let her out, and fingers crossed they don't decide to swarm again, but hopefully they're settled in their box after they've been in there for 24 hours. So I'm going to don the bee suit. There we go, bee suit's on. So you wouldn't necessarily have to put the bee suit on to do this job. However, the group might be a little bit unsettled after what happened yesterday. And obviously we're going to be messing with their main kind of entrance / door to their new hive. So we don't really want to wind them up. So on the entrance to one of these nuke hives, you've got 4 different style openings. So you've got like a full-on opening, which means that everyone can go in and out. That's what we're going to be turning it to. You've also got a queen excluder opening, which basically means that the workers can go in and out, but the queen's not allowed to. And you've also got a ventilation opening as well. So I'll just show you on this one here. This is the hive in question. This is the ventilation opening, so that means nobody can get in or get out. That's the queen excluder opening, which means that the queens can't fit through that gap there, but the workers can. And that's the full-on opening there. And that's obviously completely shut, which you wouldn't really want to do because obviously they need ventilation. Underneath these nukes is a massive piece of mesh panel, so it does offer ventilation underneath as well. You can see there's quite a few of them coming over to check me out, wondering what we're doing with them today. So, just going to quickly turn this round. Oh, there's a few bees around it. So I'm just going to gently twist that round. Don't want to catch anyone there. Hopefully they'll just move out of the way. Come on, in or out, one of the way, one or the other. Come on, kids. Shift. Shift, shift. Quite a few of them. There we go. Getting there. It's not the easiest, quickest thing to do, especially, you know, it's quite warm today, so they're pretty active. So you can see there's a lot of these worker bees are bringing forage in and out. Come on, kids, move your head. Keep going. Keep going. There we go. Oh, almost. And there we go. Now they're all piling out of that one instead. Right. So now the queen can leave. In fact, there's a drone that's just come out, that really big one. So he's going to go out and he's going to go see if he can find some more queens from some other hives to mate with, because obviously they want to spread their DNA around Northumberland because they want to be the best bees. So the drone's just on the right underneath the hole there. There's a big bee there. So hopefully what we want is we want these bees to settle here and live here at the zoo. But obviously, you know, it is up to them. You do get a lot of swarms at this time of year just because they are looking for new places to live. So fingers crossed, they'll still be there in a few days. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that bee swarming video. Obviously the apiary is on show here at the zoo, so if you want to come down and see the trials and tribulations of bee life, then by all means come to our apiary. It's quite exciting. If you do get a swarm, either at your property or you see one, don't be afraid. Generally honeybees that are swarming are not aggressive. They're literally just looking for a new home, so they're not looking to have a go at you unless you outright attack them. So generally bee swarms are quite calm things because they're not really protecting a territory because they don't have one, so they generally just kind of sat there waiting until they found a new home. So what normally happens with a swarm is that all of the colony kind of sit and wait in one area while scout bees go out and they actually look at different sites around the area, and this can take, you know, maybe 24 48 hours. Scouts are going out surveying the local area, they all come back and then they have a committee meeting and decide which home is going to be most suitable. Then they'll go from their swarm temporary location and they'll go straight to their new house. So that's generally how it goes. So if we had left them alone on the Go platform, they would have moved on themselves. But it's quite cool to be able to capture a swarm and actually put them in a hive and make them live at the zoo. So anyways, what do you think of that? What do you think of bees? They are epic. There's so much in the world of bees that people just don't know about. So thank you so much for watching that. Obviously come down to the zoo, see the bees in person. They are epic. Or if you want to get more hands-on and wear one of these super cool suits, then book one of our beekeeping experiences. But thank you so much for watching, and we shall see you next week.